I would have never thought in a million years that this game was going to end the way it did last night. Geno Smith defeated Russell Wilson. I cannot believe it. I'm sitting here going, how in the world did this happen? I am wrong. My take was bad. Last year, I made a take that Shane Waldron was the GOAT after week 1, Seahawks won. I'm not going to say that this year, but man, that offense was pretty electric in the first half. They kind of fizzled out the second half, but the first half, Geno Smith played about as good of ball as you could play if you're going to be in that position to set your team up for a victory. And they won. They literally won the football game. And I am just absolutely stunned that they did. I still cannot possibly believe how the Seattle Seahawks defeated Russell Wilson. I just couldn't believe it. Now, my first initial hunch and initial impression of this game is if Seattle played this game later in the year, I don't know if it has the same result. But let's just sit in this victory for a moment. They beat Russell Wilson. I am just elated. I'm like, this is, what? How did that even happen? I'm just still absolutely stunned. I mean, I have to say, the decision-making by the Broncos, I still don't know why you pay a man $250+ million and you decide to put out the kicker for a 64-yard field goal. I saw it was stated online today that 0 of 8 attempts from 57 yards beyond in Lumen Field since 2002. Why would you even attempt that? There was not a... Look, I don't care if Brandon McManus is one of the best kickers in the world. Kicking a 64-yard field goal is not easy. Yes, it had the leg, it didn't have the accuracy. I mean, for crying out loud, they're kicking with all their force. It's not an easy kick. I don't know the reasoning behind that decision. Nathaniel Hackett either showed that his rookie experience of being a first-time head coach. Hopefully that's not the tale of who he is as a coach. Hopefully he learns from it. I just feel like the decision-making was so bad. You have Russell Wilson. I mean, as a Seahawks fan, I'm sitting there going, oh, here comes Russ. Everyone in my house was like, man, you're a pessimist. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was, man. I was like, oh, here goes Russ. He's gonna push it down the field. He does what he always does. And it didn't happen. And it was stunning that it didn't happen just for the basis that he has been so automatic in those situations. And what a game. Really, what a game. And this game was won by the defense. As much as Geno had a great first half, that offense didn't show up. It was a team effort. It was a complete team effort. I don't know what happened in the second half. That's something to be evaluated as the season goes along. I'm excited about this win. I don't still have high expectations for the Seahawks team. I know it was the first win. Everyone's super excited. I still see a lot of areas that had Seattle not got the turnovers when they did, had not made the stops when they did, this game looks entirely different. I shared with a friend yesterday, now that we've passed the stage of enjoying this win, that if the Seahawks played the Broncos in, let's say, week 10, they lose this game 35-17. That's my thought. And the reason why I say that is, and it could go the other way too, because Seattle did drop some interceptions, some very, very key interceptions as well. Like, we're not talking things that they should have missed by any means. I mean, we see why they're corners and safeties and not wide receivers, I suppose, but they missed some key interceptions. The thing is, more often than not, they're not going to have 3 times where they have goal line stands and they fumble. Now, that was huge. That shifted momentum in so many ways. If you're the Broncos, you got to hold on to the ball. You got to convert those touchdowns and put it into the end zone. And they did not do that well, and they didn't do it really at all, other than that Jerry Jeudy touchdown. And then the other touchdown, I believe, was, I can't even remember the other touchdown because it was yesterday night, but although it was yesterday night, I can't remember. What a game, though. Geno Smith, you proved me wrong entirely. I doubted you beyond doubt. I was like, there's no way that the Seahawks are winning this game, and you proved me entirely wrong. You had a flawless first half. You maintained it in the second half. I mean, obviously, I think there's a lot that was left out there in the second half that could have been done. There could have been done more. This game could have been an easier dub than it was, and didn't have to come down the wire, but that's how Seahawks football played. Seahawks football is played. It's called heart attack football. If you're not new to the Mariners, they like fun differential. Obviously, that was last year. They're doing a little bit better this year with their run differential. But the thing is, it's tight. It's tight to the end, and it was a fight. It was a battle, and Seahawks came out on top. What a game. Really poor showing in my perspective from Seahawks to boo him. That's just my opinion. I made a video yesterday where I felt like as he came into the stadium, should have been cheers, and then maybe during the game you can have he's now on the other side, so you're wanting to make certain that he hears you, and you want to disrupt him. And obviously I think they did. They had a lot of false starts, but I just have to say the reason why Broncos lost this game, I think, is inexperience. That head coaching and the fact that they didn't have any first stringers in preseason. You saw a lot of issues last night. I don't think you'll see them later on the season, hopefully, if they're more disciplined. But good win by Seattle. You stunned me. I think you stunned a lot of the world. And I will say I'm not a doubter of the Seahawks. I just think I'm a realist. I have a realistic expectation Seattle's going to win like maybe 4 games, maybe 7, maybe 10. But the thing is I just don't know how much deep ball attack Seattle will have. And that's the thing that I kind of noticed last night, is there wasn't a lot of deep balls. It was a lot of 10, 15 yards. And that element of the game is basically taken away now that we don't have Russ. And so it should be interesting to see how Seattle will adapt to that in their offense. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed my perspective on this. The Seahawks got it done. I'm stunned. But I will say, I miss you, Russell, and I hope you well. And I don't think you've necessarily regressed. But man, I wish you're still in Seattle, because it was weird to see you in a Broncos jersey. But thank you for everything you did in Seattle. I guess this is a new chapter of the Seattle Seahawks, and we shall see how it plays out.